Moving down there, that will produce a bit of drizzle, but some brighter weather perhaps further north and west after a little bit of mist clears up. So this morning we do have a little bit of fog around, nothing like the last few days, and it might just clear up a lot quicker, especially up in Scotland where it hung around all day yesterday. But there is that cloud that's going to produce a fairly drizzly sort of day for many southern, central and eastern areas of England. As we go into the afternoon, that drizzle remains for those areas, but the mist and the fog and the haze probably clearing up in the western and northern parts of Scotland and northwestern England. And there could well be a bit of sunshine coming through, not too bad at an afternoon. Temperatures ranging between 7 and 10 degrees Celsius, 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Join me later on with all those novelties you put in a cracker. In the meantime, here's the summary.
If you would like more detailed information about the weather in your area for today and the next 4 days, call 0336 40 40 40.
All this talk about Christmas, most of us do look forward to it, but getting together with family and loved ones can be a bit of a headache. There are a lot of pressures associated with Christmas. Therapist Beachy Coakley is here to take your calls on that at 8:45. Good morning, Beachy.
Good morning.
I mean, there is stress associated with getting all the presents and cards organised and whatever, but it can get a bit out of control, all this stress, can't it?
Well, I think for mums especially, mums are put in a position where they've got to be peacemaker. I mean, how many happy families are there? You know, I mean, it's, you know, people say about, oh, well, I'm going home for Christmas, and are you looking forward to it? Well, it's all right until she starts or he starts. I mean, there's all, you know, the sort of big one. So mum's got a problem there for start. She's got more work to do. If brothers and sisters get on, there's always squabbles. If alcohol is involved, it can be really, really difficult. You know, if mum drinks too much, if dad drinks too much, if the kids, if there's drugs. There's all sorts of things for mums that are on their own for the first time, maybe because the husband's left, or if mum's left and the husband's left with the kids, if there's been a bereavement. I mean, it's a very stressful time.
Sure, it should be a happy time, but as you point out, there can be very stressful. Beachy's line is open there, 0990 945 945. Please get dialing. The subject, Christmas stress. If you're under pressure, give us a call. Beachy will be back at 8:45, talking to some of you live on air. Here's the news update now from Penny.
Good morning. A doctor is in stable condition in a hospital today after being stabbed by a patient at his North London Medical Centre. Dr. Anthony Eamonn, who's 59, suffered severe chest wounds in the attack. He'd gone to the aid of a colleague who was being threatened by a patient who'd walked into the surgery and produced a knife. The government has just announced tough new measures against the carrying of knives following the murder of a head teacher. British diplomats are this morning investigating claims that Ben Needham has been found alive and well in northern Greece. Ben, whose family comes from Yorkshire, disappeared on the Greek island of Crosse in 1991. He was 2 years old at the time. A Greek television station has reported that he's been found living with a gypsy. Britain's consul in Athens spoke to GMTV a few moments ago.
Well, we have an unconfirmed sighting that a private detective in the northern Greece has found a boy he thinks is Ben Needham, but this is not confirmed. A gypsy woman, has been arrested, but again, this is all unconfirmed.
A school troubled by youths threatening violence against its pupils is to seek an injunction today to keep them off the premises. In the latest incident at Bretton Woods Community School, 2 youths burst into a classroom and assaulted a 14-year-old boy in the middle of a lesson. The school's headmaster, John Gribble, says legal action is the only way to keep intruders off school grounds.
I think that what the community wishes a school to be is a place of learning and safety. And I think that they should be deemed in law to be sanctuaries, and that any misdemeanour taking place in the vicinity or on the premises of a school should be regarded as a more grave offence and with an appropriate, more severe penalty.
The Bosnian peace deal should be signed in Paris tomorrow, following the release by the Bosnian Serbs of 2 French pilots. The airmen arrived back in France last night after being held hostage since August. They were greeted by their families and French President Jacques Chirac. Diplomats believe the threat of further economic sanctions against Serbia helped force their release. Australian soap star Dita Brummer has been forced to cancel plans to star in a Christmas panto after British immigration officials refused him a work permit. Brummer, better known as blonde beach hunk Shane in Home and Away, was due to play the lead role in Aladdin, but his permit application has been turned down after a mix-up over his passport. 7:34, time to get the news, travel and weather where you are.
Morning, I'm Paul Green. The headlines in London today. As you may have just heard, a doctor is recovering after being stabbed twice at his surgery at Holloway in North London. Dr. Anthony Eamonn, who's 59, suffered severe chest injuries in the attack by a woman patient. The stabbing came only days after the murder of head teacher Philip Lawrence. The doctor is now in a stable condition at the Whittington Hospital in Archway. And a London MP is to introduce a private member's bill to toughen the laws on carrying knives. Lady Olga Maitland, Conservative MP for Sutton and Cheam, wants police to be able to arrest anyone who has a knife in public without good reason. She has cross-party support for the move. Docklands chiefs face fierce questioning from MPs over the most expensive piece of road in Britain. The mile-long Limehouse link in East London costs more than double its estimates at nearly £300 million. Angus Scott reports.
The Limehouse link opened with due pomp and ceremony 3 years ago. The Prime Minister was happy to show support for a symbol of Docklands' growth. Everyone knew it was going to be expensive, but at just over a mile long, the sums are astonishing. The Accounts Committee is working from a report by the National Audit Office published last June. The link was originally set to cost £141 million. The final bill for construction was £293 million. And there was another £155 million for buying land and houses.
I feel the whole thing is a white elephant. It was a major mistake. It showed up the incompetence of the LDDC.
The London Docklands Development Corporation won't comment until later today. But they've previously praised the link for starting a reversal of the area's fortunes after the recession of the early 90s. This is Angus Scott for London Today.
Time now for a look at this morning's travel news. And Circle Line following emergency engineering work at Earl's Court. On the roads, Richmond Road out in Kingston has no right turn at the junction with Wood Street. That'll mean long delays there. On the Euston Road, one lane is closed westbound. That's at the junction of Eversholt Street. And out in Hackney, Greenwood Road is closed at the junction of Graham Road. That's for gas working. Otherwise, well, a cloudy, damp start to the day. Not quite as murky, though, as it has been of late, although there is likely to be some rain or drizzle to come. Much the same this afternoon, overcast and a bit drizzly. Top temperature 7 Celsius, 45 Fahrenheit. That's it. More from us in an hour at 8:30.
Hello there, nice to have you back with us. Well, it's competition time now.
Wasn't me, I'm not...
You just can't leave that alone, can you?
I'm not touching anything. Nothing to do with me.
Hold on a second and then you'll be able to play properly.
I'm just here.
Now, have we got the perfect Christmas present for you? It's not those little remote control cars there that Eamon's playing with. It's this beautiful car here. It's worth £7,000. It's a Rover Kensington, and it could be yours. Now, yesterday we asked this question: which of these cities did Frank Sinatra sing about? And the answer was, of course, New York. Here are finalists. I've got to get through this very quickly because Eamonn cannot wait to get playing with those cars properly. These are the finalists. Those are the people who got it right. Obviously, lots more got it right, but these are the ones the computer chose. You've got Eric and Sharon and Andrew and Christine and Janet and Christopher and Susan down there in Suffolk. But who is going to win those magic words? Our computer, pick a winner. Janet Chilcott in Devon.
Hooray!
Congratulations. Hello there.
Oh, it's terrific,
Well,
Anthea.
how do you feel about having £1,000 for Christmas?
Oh, absolutely terrific.
Now,
Oh,
you
what a
know
way
what
to
I'm going to
start
ask you
day.
next. I know, it's a very difficult one this is though, because next I'm going to ask you, do you want to risk that £1,000 and hopefully get yourself a car worth £7,000? What do you fancy doing? You've got 10 seconds.
I'd love to play with Eamonn, but...
You know Listen, you can play with Eamonn for nothing, he's cheap.
I think I'll take the £1,000 and run to the travel agents if it's all
I
fair.
don't blame
Well,
you.
let us play anyway, Janet.
Yeah, will you please,
I'd
Janet?
love to, Eamonn.
Play
Okay,
with him.
right, here we go. I'll twiddle the knobs here. You've got 3 cars, 1, 2 or 3, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Just tell me where the keys are. Oh.
That's my number 2.
What you said this was easy.
You were supposed to have reversing.
Excuse me.
Did you pick one, Janet?
Number 2, Eamon.
Number 2. Give me number 2.
Where's number 2?
Lost it.
You've lost number 2 now.
That's 2. I've got it. 2. Right.
Right.
Janet. That's where the key is. You would have won the car.
No.
But sure, it's only for fun.
It's sure it's only for fun.
It is, Janet.
Oh.
There we go. Maybe we should send you one of these instead.
Maybe. My
Yeah.
grandson would love it.
I would love one as well, but they keep telling me I can't have them. But if I send you one, that'll break up the set, and maybe I can have one of the other ones, okay?
That's right. I'll have you as well if you like.
Janet, lovely talking to you.
And to you as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And
Thank
of
you
course,
very
for your
much.
chance, not at all, Janet, for your chance to win one of, not these cars, but those cars, they're over Kensington's. Here is today's question. What's the name of Santa's red-nosed reindeer? Is it Ronnie, Reginald, or Rudolph? Now, don't laugh, as a lot of children wouldn't know the answer to that. That's 0891 700 500. The line's open until 5 o'clock this afternoon. VR troopers are next, and can Dr. Poindexter repair their virtualizers? The children will know what that's all about, and they'll find out after the break.
Silence, you factory rejects! Incompetent fools! You let the troopers defeat me, you can!
No, Mum's at it again. It sort of looks like Coke. Yeah, it sounds like Coke. Come on, boss. What does it taste like? Well, it just tastes like, chicken.
I want Madeline to have the softest things against her delicate skin. She's so special, but I wasn't sure. The nappy she was in day and night was soft enough around her little tummy. Then I found out about new Pampers Premiums. Now Madeline's wrapped up in softness. They've a velvety, stretchy band all around the waist and sides. With new fabric tabs, we call them the grip strips, to keep the softness snug and secure like a security blanket.
New Pampers Premiums have the Baby Dry Plus core, so premiums keep your baby's skin drier than the next best nappy.
Madeline's skin's never been so dry. And in my creche, all my babies love feeling wrapped up in softness all day too.
New to the Pampers family, soft Pampers Premiums for the driest, happiest babies.
There are places in your mouth you can miss when brushing. That's where problems can start. That's why Crest created Complete, a toothpaste with the added antibacterial action of a mouthwash to get to those hard-to-reach places and so help protect against cavities, tartar and plaque bacteria that can cause gum problems. Help protect your teeth even where you don't reach with Crest Complete.
More complete protection, even in hard-to-reach places.
What on earth makes eggs scramble? And fruit jam? The Breville pie magic, of course. Pop in the pastry, the filling, and delicious pies in just 8 minutes. Mmm. No wonder every dinner's a winner. The Breville pie magic. It's a brevelation.
Hey! Stay away from me. You stay away from me. Get away from me. I know the VR troopers. Oh, no!
Greetings, Dr. Poindexter. Let's talk about the troopers, Doctor. Tell me the secret of their VR powers.
Never. I'll never talk. The VR troopers are my friends.
If you don't change your mind, you'll need a doctor. Well, are you ready to tell me?
No.
You don't have much time, Doctor.
I promised I wouldn't tell.
Yes, Professor.
I've located Dr. Poindexter, troopers. He's been taken to a warehouse just outside Crossroads City's northern perimeter. I'm transmitting a visual now.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have much time.
Feed his coordinates to me, Professor. I'm going after him. Ryan, I wish we could help you. No, your virtualizers are still down. Hang here until I get back.
All right, good luck, buddy.
All right. Trooper transform! We are VR! Okay, Professor. I've got the warehouse in front of me. I'm going in.
Let me beat again, trooper!
When are you gonna learn, Slice?
I'm Dice!
Whatever. Whoa! Careful with that thing. It looks a lot sharper than you are.
Quiet, trooper! Give up, trooper!
I don't think so!
Yes, Professor.
Ryan's been ambushed. I'm afraid he won't make it to Dr. Poindexter in time.
Look, don't worry. We'll go get him.
But you and JB haven't any power, Caitlin.
Poindexter's in this mess because of us. We're gonna get him out.
With or without our powers, come on.
What's the matter, Steel? You're not as tough as you used to be.
He's right. Something is wrong.
There's the warehouse over there.
Please help me, help! Anybody out there, help me, please!
Let's do it.
This is your last chance, Doctor. Talk to me.
No! I promised I wouldn't tell!
So be it.
Poindexter! Troopers! Hang on, buddy, we're coming!
Game over.
My virtualizer's still not 100%. Losing power.
The mighty Ryan Steele.
Never stop trying, Ryan. Never give up.
Dad! He's right. I gotta pull myself together.
You want some more?
I've had enough! Time to put you in the spin cycle and hang you out to dry. Ready? See ya, Slice!
That's nice!
Slice, dice, whatever.
Shut it down! Poindexter, are you okay?
Way to go, guys! Another few seconds and I would have been... What would I have been? Toast? Precisely.
I have bad news, Master!
Let me guess. Dice failed me again.
I'm afraid so, sire.
Next time, troopers, you won't be so lucky. And next time is sooner than you think.
There. Virtualizers are completely restored.
Thank you so much, Poindexter.
It was my pleasure. I just can't believe I got to meet the real VR troopers. I mean, I know who you guys really are. And I know that you won't mind if I tell my family, my mother, my sister, my twin aunts in Switzerland.
I think now's the perfect time for the professor's suggestion.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my goodness. And then there's my brother in Phoenix. What's that?
It's a memory wipe.
I've heard of those. A magnetic reorganizing brain scanner that... Whoa. I'm feeling a little woozy. Guys! How's it going? Good. It's been a long time. Come on over here. I want to show you my new invention.
Grand, here we go again.
It's an automated peanut sheller. All you do is you take a peanut like this, and you throw it in the top like that, and you wait about 30 seconds, and the peanut winds its way down through this long flowing tube, through there, around up and
VR. Now remember, gang, the VR troopers are specially trained martial arts experts, so don't you copy them, you hear me? Anyhow, why don't you guys stick around till tomorrow for a brand new adventure, yeah?
And just to remind you that the Power Rangers will be here tomorrow at 7:40.
They will indeed. Nightmare Christmases. If Christmas is getting you down, Beachy's phone line is open this morning. Here's the number, 0990945 Christmas stress.
Right, now, if your family are in the armed services and won't be home for Christmas, it is very sad, but if you watch GMTV at this time every day, you might have a special message. Let's take a look at this.
My name is Dale Allen, serving down here on the Falkland Islands with 15 Squadron RAF Regiment. Just like to say happy Christmas to all my family, especially my girlfriend, Faye. Hope we get married in the new year, and I'll see you all soon.
I feel like chicken tonight. I'm dying to try that tangy new Chinese bean and ginger sauce. Chicken tonight.
You're my party, Tortella. Found you suddenly fresh and new. With you I always like a party, 'cause it always tastes best with you. You're my party, Tortella. A tiny tortilla, a big day. You're the reason for a party, just like that, 'cause I like you.
Tortella from the Konditorei Koppenrad und Wiese. It's gonna be a great day.
Michael Jackson, History. 15 greatest hits and 15 brand new songs, including the #1 singles, You Are Not Alone and Earth Song. Michael Jackson, History.
There's a nutritious breakfast food. It is low in fat and high in fiber, so it fills you up, helping you to resist the kind of snacking that could ruin your diet. One life, one food, one great fiber provider. Kellogg's All-Bran.
Totes Toasties, the original slipper socks, are now made with Lycra. They're fun to wear and non-slip with a thicker tread. Pick a pair of Totes Toasties.
So, Ryan, tell us how you got the third one.
Yeah, I scored 2 and then they gave me the third film free. Okay.
This Christmas score a hat-trick of great Fuji shots for the price of 2.
Oh, Taffy! Oh, wow.
Relax if you have Ariel Future Liquid. Pre-treating before you wash helps get rid of mud and grass stains even better than the leading competitive liquid.
Happy birthday, Mum. Thank you.
Relax. Ariel will get it clean.
I'm Kim Moore. I'm 26, and I think life's too short to waste on beauty sleep.
I contour gel from Oil of Ulay, living proof it works.
And to my family, I leave the sum of £9.99, so that they may enjoy dinner in my honour.
It can't be legal. The KFC family feast. 8 pieces of chicken, fries, barbecue beans, coleslaw, and a family dessert. All for just £9.99.
And the rest of my multi-million-pound fortune I leave to Elsie, my beloved cat.
KFC makes a meal a feast.
It's Adam Martin, serving in Jacoufi in the Falcon Hearts. I'd just like to say hello to Mum and Dad in Dis. The sun is shining. I'll see you next year. Have a good Christmas and a New Year. Love you lots.
Hey, all right, gang, there's gonna be more from those guys tomorrow morning, same time. For now, give me a heel dig. All right, move those hands. Here I am with some bad guys. Say yeah. Woo! Yeah! Yeah, they're real crackers. All right, here we go. Good. Now cross your hands in front, same time. Cross it, good. And it's heel dig. Uh-oh. Good luck to Palmdale County High School. All right, you guys are having an Xmas fair. Okay, good. Cross your hands in front. Here we go. Hands on the waist. All right, heel dig. Good. All right, now step out to the side. Go. Side. Now cross your hands. Go. Good, you got it. Hands going to the side. David Mills from Nottingham. You're 31. Uh-oh, today. And Victoria Miller. You were 6 yesterday from Barrow and Furnace. Good. Heel dig. In front. Here we go. Cross the hands in front. Double time. Good. I want to say thank you to Shirley Bassey and Liz Brewer. Uh-oh, you kept me up all night. Here we go. Good. Legs out to the side. Here we go. Good. All right, move it. Getting the body nice and warm. Having a good time. Here we go. All right. Oh, Anthea's making eyes at me. Here we go. As she normally does. Here we go. Heel dig. I hope this Christmas, Anthea, we're going to get you in a little number. Doing the stuff. Here we go. Good. Now watch it. Legs go out to the side. Ready? Here we go. All right. Good. Okay, getting out of breath here now. That's a good feeling. All right, gang, say yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love when you get out of breath. Here we go. March it up, march it up, march it up. Good. Legs up. Here we go. Pump it up. 1, 2, 3 with a touch. 1, 2, 3 with a touch. Here we go. Okay. Just lean to the side and walk it over. Here we go. Good. Put that foot down. Oh yeah, I'm getting ready for that Christmas. I want that feeling. Uh-oh, floor manager's winding me up. That means gang gotta get out of here. For now, have a nice day and I'll see you. Go.
Thanks very much, Moat. You know, when I spoke to Moat this morning, he said to me, he says, I've got some helpers, Santa's little helpers I'm working out with today.
They're more like Moat's maidens. Moat's handmaidens there. He's a whole room full of them up that corridor. What?
You could be lucky too.
Oh.
If only we got you in that very stretchy pants.
All handpicked by Moat.
Wicked man.
Anyway, from a cracker of a little work out there, Simon's gone off with a bang. Who wrote this link?
You're sorry you started reading this, aren't you?
It's a Britain's
It's a long story. It's at a Christmas cracker factory in South Wales. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning and welcome back to Mid Glamorgan. We're still having a cracking time here, and with me is a man who knows more about crackers than most people because he's the managing director here at the factory, David Bright. Thanks very much for having us in.
That's our pleasure.
We do like pulling crackers, don't we, in Britain?
We love pulling crackers. We pull over 200 million every year.
Really? That's like almost, what, 4 per person?
Well, they pull it at home, they pull it in a hotel, they pull it in a restaurant. Everybody wants to pull a cracker all year.
And it's the crack. We get going before the meal even starts. We like that side.
Yeah.
Where does all that come from?
Well, this comes from the snap, which is a bit of gunpowder, which is guaranteed to make a bang.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
I've had a few flops in my time. Now, the novelties you get in a side of cracker, I mean, I have to say, I don't think that really...
Well, I think it's quite you.
Did you think?
Yeah.
Keep your opinions to yourself, I think. No, but some of the other ones are really rather spectacular.
This is one of our better ones, where we've got...
Just a slightly more expensive one?
Slightly more expensive.
Whoop. Let's have a look, see.
And inside is one, it's even flashing when it comes out the camera.
There we go. That's quite nice. So, the novelties and things, I mean, you just sort of put a range in depending on how much you have to pay for them?
Yes, basically. People have different requirements. We put in anything from a radio to a camera to a bottle of spirits, right down to a little plastic ring or a trumpet, something like that. It's all good fun.
Now, how much do crackers cost? What's the sort of range?
Well, you can spend $2.99 or you can spend up to $24.99 and above.
Really? Well, I mean, this is for a box?
For a box of 6, that's right.
A box of 6. And you're more or less finished for now, aren't you?
We're just about done. We're about to start next year. We're all getting ready to launch 1996.
So have you got any sort of sneak previews of what's going to be the cracker of 96?
I can't tell you. It's absolutely
it's all top
confidential.
David, thanks very much for joining us for the minute. Well, if we take a look and see what the weather's doing, we can find out what it's going to be like out there today. And on the satellite picture this morning, well, there's going to be a little bit of cloud around, mostly down the eastern side of the UK. So yesterday we had a fairly grey, dank and grizzly sort of day, and it looks as though it's going to be fairly similar to that for many people today. But there is a bit of brighter weather. Some of that cloud is breaking up, so Scotland and Northern Ireland could well see a bit of sunshine later on in the afternoon. So this morning, southern, central and eastern areas of England catching a bit of a grey start, mist, maybe a bit of drizzle around, and it looks as though that's going to be the story for most of the day. Further north, though, well, there's a little bit of broken cloud, so that's allowed a bit of frost to develop, and perhaps also a little bit of fog too. That's all going to clear up quite quickly. And I think by the time we get into the afternoon, there'll be a bit of sunshine around for much of Scotland and Northern Ireland. Really rather a pleasant sort of afternoon. Top temperatures up in the north, probably around 7 degrees Celsius. Further south, maybe around 10 degrees Celsius. That's 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So not a bad sort of day, but I think later on in the week, perhaps the temperature's dropping again, so maybe the return of some more frost and some more fog. I'm just going to find a hat, I think. Try that on. They never seem to fit me anyway. And I'll leave you with a summary.
If you would like more detailed information about the weather in your area for today and the next 4 days, call 0336 40 40 40.
What are you doing?
Well, you know, because you were complaining that there was nothing inside those crackers and the ones that you had weren't very good. Well, you see, you can make your own crackers, because what you have to do is you buy these things from the shops. And that's the bang, because Simon showed us one of those. And then you just get a toilet roll and you get some crepe paper and you can make one. Then you can put your own little presents inside. And, you know, like diamond rings and things like that.
Make your own crackers. Alternatively, there you are. Get to grips with Anthea Turner this Christmas. There you are. You can pull you at both ends.
Let's see if I'm a good pull.
There you are. Let's see if there's anything.
No, I'm not.
A dud.
Neither are you.
There you are. Anyway, what else are we doing this morning? Rod Stewart was on the programme a few weeks ago confessing to Fiona last month that he would like to have more babbies, wasn't he?
I think we're going to plan one within the next 8 to 9 months. Then that'll be it. I'll have to close down the shop then.
But the fact is, does his wife know about this? Well, we're going to be talking to Rachel Hunter because she joins us this morning to tell us a little bit more about life with one of Britain's favourite rockers, and of course she has a fitness video out as well, so she's going to get us in trim after all those Christmas puddings and things. OK, also on the programme this morning between 9 and 9 o'clock, we're off to the Big Apple to sample the excitement of Christmas in New York. And with the festive season now in full swing, we look at the controversy surrounding the government's so-called Boozer's Charter. What effect will the new safe drinking limits have on our health and the Christmas Drink Drive campaign? There's more on that story now, right after the news update. Penny has that.
Ben Needham is reported to have been found in Greece. Doctors call for greater protection after a GP is stabbed. And how the spirit of John Lennon lives on. Good morning. British diplomats in Athens are today investigating claims that the missing toddler Ben Needham has been found with a gypsy woman in northern Greece. Reports suggest the woman has been arrested. The British youngster went missing more than 4 years ago while living with his family on the Greek island of Crosse. His disappearance sparked off an international hunt. Our senior correspondent Martin Frizzell reports.
Ben was just 2 years old when he disappeared on this road on the island of Crosse in the summer of 1991. This morning, Greek television and a newspaper report suggested he'd been seen in northern Greece with a gypsy woman who it's claimed is now in police custody. The embassy in Athens has been unable to confirm any of these reports.
Well, we have an unconfirmed sighting that a private detective in northern Greece has found a boy he thinks is Ben Needham.
Ben's grandparents are this morning on the island of Crosse. They've flown out to reconstruct the youngster's disappearance using his sister as a stand-in. His uncle at home in Yorkshire says the family is as confused as everyone else by these new reports.
Private investigators found Ben, supposedly, and a woman has been arrested for dealing in child selling rings in Greece, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it.
There have been several reported sightings over the last 4 years. None has proved fruitful. Martin Frizzell, GMTV News.
A doctor is in a stable condition in a London hospital this morning after being stabbed by a patient at his surgery. The attack came within hours of the government announcing tough new measures against carrying knives following last week's murder of a head teacher. The British Medical Association says this latest attack highlights the need for doctors to be better protected. David Lawrence reports.
The medical centre in North London was nearing the end of evening surgery when a woman walked in and produced a knife. Dr. Anthony Eamonn went to the aid of a colleague and was stabbed twice in the chest. The doctor was rushed here to the nearby Whittington Hospital, suffering from what ambulancemen described as critical injuries. Back at the surgery, his colleagues were left stunned by what had happened.
It's a danger we all know theoretically we face, but we never think it's going to happen to us. And it's happened to a friend of mine and a fellow colleague, and it's very, very upsetting.
Local residents too were left questioning the safety of their own neighbourhood.
Yeah, it's shocking because they're old people. There's lots of old people around, and you've got people like this walking the street. You know, if they're going to do that to a doctor, there's someone who's going to care for them. You know, what are they going to do to somebody on the street, for goodness sakes?
A woman was arrested shortly after the incident. She's being held by police while the investigation continues. Following this latest attack, the BMA has called for greater protection for all medical staff.
Doctors all over the country are finding increasingly that they and their staff are threatened with violence or actually have violence perpetrated against them.
Meanwhile, Dr. Eamonn, who's just 6 months from retiring, lies in a hospital bed, according to one specialist, lucky to be alive. David Lawrence, GMTV News, North London.
The couple at the centre of the notorious Australian dingo baby killing failed to get their names completely cleared this morning, 15 years after their child's death. Lindy Chamberlain, who was convicted and then cleared of the child's murder, arrived in court this morning, hoping the coroner would overturn the unlawful killing verdict. But he told the inquest he couldn't prove if the child was carried off by a dingo, as the parents claim, or was murdered, as the body has never been recovered. An open verdict was returned, as Sarah Holden reports. Sorry, we'll have that report a little bit later on. A school troubled by youths threatening violence against its pupils is to seek an injunction today to keep them off its premises. In the latest incident at Brettonwood Community School in Peterborough, 2 youths burst into a classroom and assaulted a 14-year-old boy before being ejected by a teacher. The school's headmaster, John Gribble, says the timing of the violence has left him shocked.
Outrage, anger, fear on behalf of my students, my school, my staff, and the gentleman involved had to decide whether to put himself at risk, and he did so by restraining one of the assailants. Now, after last Friday's dreadful news, that was a very courageous thing to do.
It's reported that Prince Charles will meet senior politicians from the 3 main parties this week to discuss his ideas for curing Britain's social ills. Meanwhile, Princess Diana has flown back to Britain after being honoured with a humanitarian award in New York. The award was in recognition of her charity work. And we return now to the couple at the centre of that notorious Australian dingo baby killing case, which they failed to clear their names this morning. Sarah Holden reports.
It's become one of the world's most notorious cases, and today, after 15 years, countless legal submissions, books and a Hollywood movie starring Meryl Streep, it should have been over. Lindy Chamberlain has been fighting since 1980 to prove she didn't kill her daughter Azaria. She's already had her murder conviction overturned, and her husband has been cleared of being an accessory to the fact. But the unlawful killing verdict of the inquest still stood. Today, the couple had hoped that too would be overturned.
I guess it means that the mystery still remains for the country, for the international community and for the Chamberlains themselves. A few people are speculating that they will take it as quite a slap in the face, considering they've pushed for it for so long.
The coroner told the court because the baby's body had never been found, he couldn't decide if the child had died at the hands of her parents or was carried off by wild dogs. But the couple, who've since divorced, say they still plan a memorial service for Azaria at Ayers Rock. Sarah Holden, GMTV News.
The 3 remaining Beatles are currently enjoying phenomenal chart success with their newly released record. Lead singer Paul McCartney says the ghost of John Lennon may be guiding their comeback. He even claims his old friend interrupted the filming of an exclusive Christmas interview. As James Duff reports.
Flying high in the charts, attracting millions every weekend to the Beatles anthology, their comeback could hardly be going better. And while the Fab Four can no longer appear together, John Lennon remains an integral part of the band.
Most days I will think of him in one way or another, but obviously doing the anthology, it was all days you were having to think of him. Making the record, he was actually in the headphones while I was singing. Now, it's been a long time since I've actually done that, you know.
And Paul's creative partner appears determined to remain an influence, even interrupting this interview.
That was John. Right. He's there. That's all right, okay. Leave it in. Leave it in. It was John.
Now Paul, George and Ringo hope John Lennon's presence in voice and in spirit can help them knock rival Michael Jackson off the top of the charts for Christmas. James Duff, GMTV News.
It's coming up to 10 minutes past 8. Here's Eamon.
Penny, thank you very much indeed. There we are over there. Thank you. The Christmas party season's in full swing, and most of us have been enjoying a seasonal tipple. But the government has caused a storm of controversy by issuing the so-called Boozers Charter, and we're being told it's good, perhaps even for your health, to drink at a time when police, of course, are trying to enforce a tough drink drive campaign. Alan Fisher is with the traffic police in Birmingham this morning, and with me here in the studio is Dr. Hilary Jones, and we'll be talking about the effects of this very shortly. But Alan, you're out there with the people at the sharp end.
That's right. This is perhaps one of the busiest time of the year for the traffic branch. It's a time when the Christmas crackdown starts. The government have already launched their campaign with their controversial television ad. The message they're trying to drive home is don't drink and drive. And it's a message that not everyone heeds, as Sally Eden found out last night on the streets of Birmingham with West Midlands Police.
It was just one for the road, but this one will keep him off the road this Christmas.
No alcohol on your breath. All right. As a result of that, and in fact I've seen you driving a motor vehicle on the road, I'm going to ask you to provide me with a specimen of breath. Will you agree to do that? Yep. Okay.
This is the West Midlands Police's busiest time. Between now and the new year, every motorist suspected of an offence will be stopped and breathalyzed.
In a moment, I'm going to ask you to fill your lungs with air, make a seal around the tube here and blow long and hard. You can liken it to blowing up a kiddie's balloon. It is actually quite difficult. It does require a bit of effort. All right.
But while the government's don't drink and drive message seems to be hitting home, with the number of last year's positive tests down, the new government guidelines on increasing healthy drinking levels has left pubgoers confused.
They could have brought it out at a different time of year. Bringing it out this time of year is just going to encourage people to drink more at this time of year and drive, and it's just not right.
I don't think the sensible person is going to take any notice of this change in how much you can drink. Having said that, there's a lot of people who drive who aren't sensible, so there is a risk, yes.
The number of people killed in alcohol-related accidents has halved in the last decade, but campaigners say the message that drinking and driving doesn't mix must continue to be pressed home.
Well, joining me now is Inspector Garth Mann of West Midlands Police. Inspector Mann, is the anti-drink drive message getting through?
Yes, I think it is slowly. I mean, the public's attitude has changed dramatically over the last 10 to 15 years. What was sort of socially acceptable then certainly is not now.
But it's still a hardcore that don't take the message.
Yes, I think we're down to the hardcore now, and I think any subsequent campaigns are going to be a chipping away at the old block.
One of the big problems the police have is the morning after. Believe it or not, in some countries such as Finland, between 8 and 10 on a Saturday morning, that's the high spot. That's because people are going to the Christmas parties, waking up the next morning thinking, I'm fine driving, and finding they're over the limit. Now, last night, I normally don't drink at all during the week. I had 4 beers, and we're just going to check now to see whether or not I'm still affected by that. We have a breath test kit here. What do I have to do?
Take a good deep breath, sir, and blow continuously until I tell you to stop.
Okay, here we
You're
go.
in time. Okay, sir, thank you.
Right, and we'll quickly get a reading from that.
Yes, that shows that there's still alcohol in your body, but you are just under the limit.
Under the limit. Now, it's some time since I had a drink. 4 beers, I didn't think they were particularly strong, and I actually feel okay, but as we can see, there's still alcohol in my bloodstream. Inspector, does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. Alcohol obviously goes into the bloodstream, into the body very quickly, but it leaves it very slowly. And this is something that people tend to forget.
The government, of course, issued new guidelines about what's safe to drink, not when they're driving, but what's safe to drink over the course of the week. Has this confused the whole issue?
Certainly from people I've spoken to, it has. They are totally confused as to what it referred to.
Does it make your job more difficult, trying to get the anti-drink drive message across?
Well, obviously, if it's confused the public, then it's going to make our job a lot harder.
Inspector Mann, thank you very much indeed for joining us. A busy time of year for the police in the West Midlands and across the country. And the message, even though the government are saying just one more, don't bother with that, the message from most police forces is don't drink and drive at all.
Alan, that's very, very interesting. Now, what about the type of drink you had there? Was that 4 pints or 4 bottles of lager? What was it?
It was 4 bottles of beer, 4 bottles of lager. Now, it's the sort of thing that didn't really affect me. I didn't feel too bad last night. As I say, I don't normally drink during the week, but when I woke up this morning, I felt fine. I thought I was okay.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that there was alcohol in my system. If I had maybe 2 or 3 more, I could have woke up thinking, well, if I had 4 or 5 hours sleep, I'm okay. You get up and you're over the limit. If you're in a crash, you're going to be breathalyzed, and you may think you're okay, but if you're just slightly over the limit, you're going to lose your licence for a year.
Okay.
It's not a risk worth taking as far as the police are concerned.
Okay, and Alan, as you say, the police are out there and they're doing those checks during the day. Hilary Jones is with me now. Hilary, we want to talk about this now from a health point of view. The confusing thing about this is the government statement yesterday talked in terms of units. Now, basically, to me and anyone else watching, a unit doesn't mean anything. It probably means something to you as a doctor. I mean, what does that mean in terms of glasses and bottles, pints, whatever?
Okay, well, let's look at it exactly in terms of units. 1 unit is an ordinary half pint of beer. When I say ordinary beer, we're not talking about fortified beers for the moment. Ordinary bitter that you get from the tap, from the tap behind the bar. 1 half pint is 1 unit. So 2 pints is 4 units, and that is now the maximum upper limit of safe recommended drinking. 1 glass of wine is 1 unit. Okay, 1 ordinary glass of wine is 1 unit. So there's your 4 units for men per day, which is now the recommended upper limit of safe drinking. For women, it would be 3 half pints, pint and a half, in other words, of ordinary beer a day, or 3 glasses of wine
per day.
And also, when we talk about units, if you drink spirits, then 1 pub measure of spirits is 1 unit, and we're talking about just enough to wet the bottom of a glass. If you've ever had a spirit in a pub, it's not very much at all. If you're drinking spirits at home, people pour much greater quantities. We're talking about a pub measure is 1 unit, and of course, if we're talking about a fortified one like a sherry, then 1 small glass is 1 unit.
Okay, that was the old limits there to the left of me, and these are the new limits. Yeah, these are the upper limits we have to stress.
Right.
But basically, what about the timing about all this, Hilary? We saw the police there. It doesn't make their job a lot easier this time of the year because people are confused.
People are very confused, and the government statement actually had nothing at all to do with drink driving regulations. But people have mixed the two. Whether the government like it or not, people have confused the two. The reason they're separate is what the government statement is saying is that they're trying to encourage people to have a maximum upper limit of drinking every day of their lives so that they never ever become inebriated. So if they stick to 4 units a day, a man, or 3 units a day for a woman, they will never be drunk, they will never be inebriated, they will never suffer the physical, psychological or social consequences of drinking. But you know as well as I know that that's not realistic. People are going to drink to excess. And I think the medical evidence, the science, as Stephen Dorrell says, that he's basing his statement on, the science says that this amount of drinking can have beneficial effects in people over 40 in terms of their heart. I think that's very spurious. I don't think there's a lot of evidence to support that. We see a lot of harmful effects of excess drinking, and I think the message that people have got through their confusion is that it's okay to drink more, and I think at this time of year that's terrible.
Okay, well, no doubt we'll talk about this in the run-up to Christmas again, Hilary. For the moment, thank you very much indeed. Beachy Coakley is here to take your calls on excess drinking and Christmas stress in about 20 minutes' time. Look forward to that. And of course, if you're going to have a drink at all over Christmas, it's probably safer not to drive at all. Any drink, no drive.
Thank you very much, Eamonn. Well, the time is 18 minutes past 8. We're going to take a break now. After that, we've got Rachel Hunter. Yes, she's popping in for a chat about her new fitness video and life with Rod Stewart.
This Christmas at Debenhams, you'll find gifts in silver and gold. Gifts that look smart, the way to his heart. Games to play all Christmas Day, a glamorous night by candlelight. Jolly Crocs, boxes of socks, mousses per pair, scents to wear, dresses that stun, dolls for fun. We've got Christmas all wrapped up. At Christmas, the difference is Debenhams.
What on earth makes eggs scramble? And fruit jam? The Breville pie magic, of course. Pop in the pastry, the filling, and delicious pies in just 8 minutes. Mmm. No wonder every dinner's a winner. The Breville pie magic. It's a brevelation.
Celine Dion.
If you think you're in my head, you've been
The Colour of My Love, her #1 album. With 4 hit singles and a whole lot more. It includes her million-selling single, Think Twice. Make it your album of the year from Celine Dion.
When your sore throat feels like this, try new Strepsils Dual Action. It numbs the throat with anesthetic and helps fight infection with antibacterials. For severe sore throats, new Strepsils Dual Action. Only from your pharmacist.
Take your family to the enchanting world of Hoggett's Farm,
What is it, Mom? That's a pig.
where the animals speak for themselves, and one special pig
Me?
will capture your heart.
I want my mom. There.
Universal Pictures presents
La la la.
Babe,
La 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 la.
Crosse and Blackwell. Well, well, well.
So, Ryan, tell us how you got the third one.
Yeah, I scored 2 and then they gave me the third film free. Okay?
This Christmas score a hat-trick of great Fuji shots for the price of 2.
I'm Kim Moore. I'm 26, and I think life's too short to waste on beauty sleep.
I contour gel from Oil of Ulay, living proof it works.
Welcome to the world of DeLonghi, where ordinary things are made extraordinary. Take the DeLonghi deep fat rotor fryer. The rotating basket is set at an angle. Because it dips the food, you only need half the oil. And cleaning couldn't be easier. No lifting or tipping. Simply watch the oil drain away. Household appliances from DeLonghi. Extraordinary.
Should we get one of these for Christmas?
All right, but I don't know where you're going to stick your baubles. No room, is there?
Half price at Safeway.
Every box of Debenhams crackers contains a gift voucher ranging from £1 to £1,000.
And 1, 2, 3, good. 4, there you go. 5, don't snap it. 6, 7, 8, and the cross, and hook, cross, 2, cross, push that hip. 4, 5.
These hooks and crosses do wonders for your arms and back.
8, good, back to neutral.
Oh, it's hard when you've just woken up, isn't it? But that was Rachel Hunter there in action, and she's brought out a brand new video, which is it's what we all want for Christmas, isn't it? Somebody to tell us that we should be losing weight and toning up and getting fit after all that pudding. Nice to have you with us, though. Nice to see you do a bit of sweating on that.
I know, that was my main point, that I didn't want someone to come rushing in every, 5 minutes and wipe the sweat off me. I wanted to actually
It looks like you're really there and you're really getting into it.
Yeah.
So what is this going to do for us? Is this a toning one or is it an aerobic one?
Well, the tapes are actually, there's 2 sets of them. This is the one that's going to be released first, the kickboxing one, which completely came about by fluke. I didn't really want to do it, and then I got into it and I loved it.
Yeah.
And this is the cardio one that kind of gets rid of the fat and kind of gets you going. But I mean, it's there's also a weight one as well. But this one I like because it's different. You know, there's so many tapes out. And I mean, which is great because I mean, we all need them. We need the change. We need, you know, someone different.
We do, but you do have an advantage over most of us because you're gorgeous, and you know, you're tall, and you've got a great figure to start off with. But how did you react? Because I saw some pictures of you, and it must have been after you'd had Liam, your second child. I mean, you just look fantastic. Had you put any work into that, getting your figure back?
Oh yeah, my God! I was at the gym after 2.5 months after I'd been had Liam. I went to the gym and worked my, ass off basically, but
say it.
And
it's all right, it's okay.
And I really worked at it. I mean, it didn't take, wasn't in the gym for 20 minutes and then gone.
Right.
I mean, I was there for a good 2 hours because I mean, I had a time span that I had to be in shape in 5 months, otherwise we lost the timing of it for the release in America and everything. So I had only a certain time to get into shape, and I worked really hard.
So just like the rest of us, you can put on weight, and it's very difficult after a baby
after
to sort
two of them, after over a certain amount of time with the 2 of them. I mean, I never quite lost the weight with Renee, so I had that 10 pounds as well as...
That's made everybody feel a lot better, that has. It really has. Thank you very much for doing that. Now, we spoke to Rod, well, actually say we, it was Fiona Phillips spoke to Rod about 3 weeks ago. This is what he said. I'm not sure if you know about this.
I think we're going to plan one within the next 8 to 9 months. Then that'll be it. I'll have to close down the shop then.
What do they bring to your life?
Well, it's a sense of completeness, I suppose. I think it's what all people want to be put down on this earth, is to have children that not only mirror the love you have for each other, but they mirror yourself.
Well, it's all very lovely, but are you planning another one?
Not right now.
Did he mention that to you?
I know, he likes putting surprises on me. No, well, I would, but not right now. I want to have time for them. I just don't want to have them for the sake of having them.
Yeah, and he's watching now, isn't he? This morning, of course. So Rod, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. In a minute, but not yet.
Not yet.
And what about, because he did actually say that you would like to renew your marriage vows, which sounds like a gorgeous and romantic idea to me.
Yes, I know that's something when we got married, I said, you know, in 5 years' time, we'd really like to do that. And this Friday is the 5 years, so we're just going to see what happens.
Oh, well, happy wedding anniversary for
Thank
Friday.
You very much. Thank you.
Now, the children, when I see pictures of you, they're always sort of with you. They must do a heck of a lot of travelling. How do they cope?
They do. They're really good kids, but, you know, like we're talking about before, they've known no different life. And so they're very used to it. I mean, people look at us when we come on planes and they're like, oh my God, look at, you know, the kids are... And
there's that mother dragging them around the world.
And I just lay them on the floor or put them in a chair and they fall off to sleep and they sleep most of the flight. And I mean, they're really good. And I know it's going to get a lot harder, you know, as the time goes on with them, with friends and all the rest of it. But I try and make it as comfortable as possible for them.
And as long as Mum and Dad are there.
Exactly, we're there all the time. I mean, that's the part I don't want them stuck back at home with a nanny and no Mum and Dad. I mean, that's not the reason why we had them. So.
How did you cope in the early days? Because when you married Rod, you were walking into a life which was incredibly well established. A man there who's got a career. He'd been married before. He got homes that were all done up and other children. It must have been a bit intimidating, wasn't it?
It wasn't intimidating at all. I mean, I adapt to situations pretty well, and I had my own career, and I was a pretty, you know, I've always wanted that, and I always want to keep that, because I think that's part of what he liked when he saw me and he met me. So I mean, as long as I can keep myself going with something that I enjoy doing, I think that
You've
helps.
changed a few things around the house, haven't you?
Yeah.
Got rid of a lot of that leopard skin and stuff like that.
I don't mind a bit of lipstick, but
bit
yeah, a
of
little bit.
lipstick. little bit's gone. Well, it's really nice to speak to you, and every time we see you, you've always got a smile on your face, and such a lovely couple. So thank you very much for coming in, and good luck with the videos. It's out on the 26th, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that means after Christmas, when we're feeling a bit bleh, we buy that video.
We'll be doing it.
Great. And you're going to be working out with Moses a little bit later?
Yeah, I know he's going to sabotage me. I know that.
No. You sort him out. That kickboxing.
I'll be counting. He can do the exercise.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
Okay, Rachel and Moat in about 20 minutes' time. And still to come, we're live to Simon in Wales as he tries to learn how to make a Christmas cracker. That's right after the break.
Far too busy to eat all those.
Just Brazils. You give them because you love them.
Great chips!
But these are no ordinary chips.
They're McCain's Southern fries. They're cut from whole potato with a unique light coating which gives them sensational crispness and a surprising savoury taste. Hey, who ate the last one?
McCain Southern Fries, the fries that surprise. Totes Toasties, the original slipper socks, are now made with Lycra. They're fun to wear and non-slip with a thicker tread. Pick a pair of Totes Toasties.
This Christmas, there are hundreds of price check savings at Somerfield, like £1 off our selected potatoes. Tasty ham on the bone at half price. And for a little extra treat, Somerfield Strawberry Gatto, half price at just 99p.
Now that's what I like to see. Price check at Somerfield. Savings that add up.
If you think you've seen the Power Rangers, let's do it. Think again. I'm going in. Think action. Think adventure.
Ooh, that was close.
Think fun.
I love it.
Get away. Power Rangers, the movie. Buy it on video.
Wake up to Daydream, the #1 album from Mariah Carey.
You can't always give in to cold and flu. So to relieve all your cold and flu symptoms, Nurofen introduced Nurofen Cold and Flu.
Mom, I bought these for Father Christmas.
But he'll be far too busy to eat all those.
Just Brazils. You give them because you love them.
Good morning to you, waking up to GMTV. Let's now go live to the Swantex Christmas Cracker Factory. And there you see Simon Biaggi learning the skills of how to make a Christmas cracker. We will see the finished product right after the news update now from Penny.
Good morning. British diplomats in Athens are investigating claims that the missing toddler Ben Needham has been seen with a gypsy woman in northern Greece. Reports suggest the woman has been arrested. The British youngster went missing more than 4 years ago while living with his family on the Greek island of Crosse. His disappearance sparked off an international hunt. Our senior correspondent Martin Frizzell reports.
Ben was just 2 years old when he disappeared on this road on the island of Crosse in the summer of 1991. This morning, Greek television and a newspaper report suggested he'd been seen in northern Greece with a gypsy woman who it's claimed is now in police custody. The embassy in Athens has been unable to confirm any of these reports.
Well, we have an unconfirmed sighting that a private detective in the northern Greece has found a boy he thinks is Ben Needham.
Ben's grandparents are this morning on the island of Crosse. They've flown out to reconstruct the youngster's disappearance using his sister as a stand-in. His uncle at home in Yorkshire says the family is as confused as everyone else by these new reports.
Private investigators found Ben, supposedly, and a woman has been arrested for dealing in child selling rings in Greece, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it.
There have been several reported sightings over the last 4 years. None has proved fruitful. Martin Frizzell, GMTV News.
A doctor is in a stable condition in a hospital this morning after being stabbed by a patient at his North London Medical Centre. Dr. Anthony Eamonn, who's 59, suffered severe chest wounds in the attack. He'd gone to the aid of a colleague who was being threatened by a patient. The couple at the centre of the notorious Australian dingo baby killing failed to get their names completely cleared 15 years after their child's death. Lindy Chamberlain was convicted and then cleared of murdering her daughter. But at the coroner's court in Darwin this morning, she and her now divorced husband were told there was no proof of their claim that the child was taken by a dingo. The coroner recorded an open verdict. It's reported that Prince Charles will meet senior politicians from the three main parties this week to discuss his ideas for curing Britain's social ills. Meanwhile, Princess Diana has flown back to Britain after being honoured with the Humanitarian Award in New York. 8:34, that's all from the GMTV news desk this morning. Time now to get the news, travel and weather where you are.
Morning, I'm Paul Green. The headlines in London today. As you may have just heard, a doctor is recovering after being stabbed twice at his surgery at Holloway in North London. Dr. Anthony Eamonn, who's 59, suffered severe chest injuries in the attack by a woman patient. The stabbing came only days after the murder of head teacher Philip Lawrence. The doctor is now in a stable condition at the Whittington Hospital in Archway. And a London MP is to introduce a private member's bill to toughen the laws on carrying knives. Lady Olga Maitland, Conservative MP for Sutton and Cheam, wants police to be able to arrest anyone who has a knife in public without good reason. She has cross-party support for that move. Docklands chiefs face fierce questioning from MPs over the most expensive piece of road in Britain. The mile-long Limehouse link in East London cost more than double its estimates at nearly £300 million, as Angus Scott now reports.
The Limehouse link opened with due pomp and ceremony 3 years ago. The Prime Minister was happy to show support for a symbol of Docklands growth. Everyone knew it was going to be expensive, but at just over a mile long, the sums are astonishing. The Accounts Committee is working from a report by the National Audit Office published last June. The link was originally set to cost £141 million. The final bill for construction was £293 million. And there was another £155 million for buying land and houses.
I feel the whole thing is a white elephant. It was a major mistake. It showed up the incompetence of the LDDC.
The London Docklands Development Corporation won't comment until later today. But they've previously praised the link for starting a reversal of the area's fortunes after the recession of the early 90s. This is Angus Scott for London Today.
Time now for a look at this morning's travel news. And on the Tube, there are delays on the District and Circle lines following emergency engineering work at Earl's Court. On the roads, Richmond Road in Kingston has no right turn at the junction with Wood Street. That'll mean delays there. And on the Euston Road, a lane is closed westbound at the junction of Eversholt Street. Finally, in Hackney, Greenwood Road is closed at the junction of Graham Road for gasworks. Now the weather, and a cloudy, damp start to the day. Not quite as murky as it has been, although there is likely to be some rain or drizzle later on. Much the same this afternoon, overcast and drizzly. Top temperature 7 Celsius, 45 Fahrenheit. That's it for now. More from us at 5 to 10.
Seems so simple. We take it all for granted, don't we?
Let's see if there's anything nice inside this one. Oh, it's one of those hats.
I'm not wearing that anyway.
Well, I'll wear the hat.
How do they do it? How do they put it together? Let's now go to Wales, mid Glamorgan. Simon Biaggi's there in the cracker factory.
Good morning to you both. Yes, you're going to have a try at making these crackers because I've got the champion cracker makers here from the cracker factory. And we're going to do, I wish Sally Mean was here because she could have done this perfectly, a bit of a generation game sort of thing. We're going to put it together from scratch and hopefully you in the studio can join in. I'll just have a quick chat with our cracker makers. Leanne, how long have you been making these crackers?
5 or 6 months.
So it's quite easy?
Yeah.
Okay, and Ariel, you've been making them a bit longer?
Yes, a bit longer.
But you make them at home as well?
Yes, at home.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, so do you think Eamon and Anthea might stand a fairly good chance of getting one together?
Most probably, yes.
Okay, well, first of all, what we've done is we've stuck this the snapper thing to the paper, and then you're going to guide us through what you do next.
Right, you put the hat and the joke underneath, then you put the boards together.
And they clip together quite nicely.
Nice.
Now that looked easy, I can tell you it wasn't that easy when I tried it.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Right.
A bit of ribbon round the end. Now that's the fiddly bit.
Pull it as tight as you can.
As tight as you
We're not prepared for this, Aidan.
Keep up, Anthea, keep up. You're losing.
No, we're not prepared
Eamonn, you need a
for
ribbon
this at
now.
all.
A ribbon.
We can't get the little ends in.
All right, then the gift goes inside. Come on, the gift. You've got to get the gift inside.
We've got a gift
Good game. Come on.
We've got those in.
Another bit. Another bit.
Ribbon.
Second bit of ribbon, Anthea. Second bit. Come on, you're running out of time. And that gets done. Oh, get the knot done. And then we just curl those bits of ribbon up. Anthea's doing quite well, actually, there.
I haven't got the second bit of ribbon on, though, yet.
And Leanne?
Nobody told me I had to do this today.
Oh, quite nice. There you go, finished. They're both finished. They're both finished.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy. Now, what you've got to do... Yeah. Look at that. That is absolutely atrocious. You see, if you took the one that Ariel made, now we'll just show you how this works.
Bang's fallen out.
Well, it does work, you see. Well, there you go. That is how a cracker is made. Ariel, Leanne, thank you very much for joining us with that one. And you can do that at home if you want. Now, on with the weather. Let's take a look and see how it is outside this morning. Well, from the satellite picture this morning, we did make out just a little bit of cloud around, and it's really spreading down from the north down the eastern side of the UK. It's a little bit of a grey, dank and drizzly sort of scene, just as it was yesterday. But there is going to be a bit of brighter weather, mostly up towards the northwestern parts of the UK, maybe even a bit of sunshine there. So this morning, we are going to have, once again, a fairly grey start for many southern, central and eastern areas of England. There's a bit of cloud around, some damp, drizzly sort of rain, maybe even a bit of mist from that too. Further north, well, it was a bit colder last night than further south, so a little bit of fog perhaps there, maybe some frost on the ground. That's probably all clearing up by now. And as we go into the afternoon, the sun could well come through some of those breaks in the cloud up in the northwestern parts. And so it's going to be a reasonable afternoon. But the east and the southern and central parts of England looking a little bit grey for most of the day. Temperatures ranging between 7 and 10 degrees Celsius, that's 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And just before I go, here's one I prepared earlier. Anthea with ears on a cracker. It could be a bestseller. I'll leave you with a summary.
If you would like more detailed information about the weather in your area for today and the next 4 days, call 0336 40 40 40.
And thank you to everyone at the Swantex Christmas Cracker Factory there in Aberdare in Mid Glamorgan. Thank you for having us this morning. We forgot our little jokes.
We did, didn't we? We didn't manage to put those in.
What do angry mice send each other at Christmas?
I don't know.
Cross mouse cards. Cross mouse Christmas. We will take a break there. After that, Beachy Coakley's here, and he is taking calls this morning on family stress at Christmas. So I'm away off to give him a dial, and he'll be back taking my call and others after this.
Have you got a headache, or have you got a headache?
If I get a headache, there's nothing better for me than Headaches Extra.
Headaches Extra. Fast, effective, easy to swallow.
How on earth do you make hard cheese like this, soft like this, with a Breville sandwich toaster, of course? It cuts and seals for mess-free meals in just 3 minutes. Mmm, no wonder other sarnies go balmy. The Breville sandwich toaster. It's a Brevelation.
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Your last chance to own the original Star Wars is almost gone. Buy it today or lose it forever.
Kellogg's Variety. Another little problem sorted.
For a year full of fun, starting this Christmas, you can't do better than their favourite annual. They're all terrific value and always sure to please. They're at good newsagents and bookshops now.
Totes slippers have an extra thick padded sole.